Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. Hakeem Olajuwon never wanted to be just a center and was often considered a guard trapped in the center's body. After starting playing basketball at the age of 17, Hakeem didn't even know about the difference in positions because it didn't feel natural and shared his evolution as a player. In a great interview with the Players Tribune, Hakeem shares what happened when he was preparing to move to the U.S. and start a college basketball career at the University of Houston. Olajuwon never expected to be limited in his role and what he could do on the court. During that summer, he actually had to play a center in a game and mostly spent time in the paint, which was a complete surprise for him. Playing in a structure where he was perceived as a center because of his height was a big initial challenge for Hakeem. As it turned out, being naive about basketball worked in my favor. I didn't approach basketball with any preconceptions. When my coach told me to play the center position, I didn't know what he meant. I could name the five positions, but I couldn't really explain the difference between a center and a small forward. The summer before I began college, my coaches would yell at me during practice, Hakeem, you're playing center. I just stay in the key. I didn't want to stay in the key. I watched the guards and I was inspired by their creativity. The key was boring. Hakeem was inspired by the guards on the perimeter and wanted to do the same thing and not be stuck in the paint where his movement was limited. That was when Hakeem decided to work on his outside game and improved every aspect of his game. Shooting, working on handles, post moves, passing are all things that were in Hakeem's focus early on in his basketball career. As soon as coaches saw what Hakeem could do on the basketball court, they stopped limiting him and let him play his game, which was a win win situation for everyone. I wanted to dance in and out of the paint all over the court. I saw guards handling the ball. I say, man, I want to do that stuff. So I developed my outside game. I didn't just do big man drills. I worked on my dribbling and my mid range jumper. I worked on my passing and my footwork. If I had a slower guy guarding me, I would draw him outside of his element. I could get an easy jumper, or I could cross him over and beat him to the rim. If he was smaller, I'd get early position inside and post him up. I learned that basketball and soccer are similar in at least one way. You take what the defense gives you. Soon coaches stopped telling me to stay in the key. Hakeem revolutionized the center's position in many ways, showcasing you can have guard like moves in the post and be successful. However, it's not easy to do what Hakeem did so effortlessly for almost 2 decades. And even though players are to replicate Hakeem's moves, we haven't seen anyone just like him yet in the NBA. Hakeem is probably one of those players that would blossom even more in today's NBA, where he would have even more freedom to operate outside of the paint. Imagine surrounding Hakeem with four shooters and letting him go to work and create opportunities for others after double teaming comes, and you know for sure they are coming after Hakeem. The Rockets in his days had a similar system in place, which was the main reason why they won two consecutive NBA championships. And Hakeem was a two-time NBA Finals MVP, outperforming all the great centers from that era. And we all know there were quite a few of them. Big men nowadays need to be more versatile, while back then that wasn't the case. And because Hakeem got inspired and tried other things on the court, it made coaches realize you can't just put a big man in the paint if he has different skill sets that could help the team win. So Hakeem Olajuwon, man, he's my second, favorite and greatest player of all time. He's a tier one player. Hakeem Olajuwon came in the league and played the forward position. They put him at power forward, which he was effective. him and Ralph Sampson were really the original Twin Towers. Before you had David Robinson and Tim Duncan, them two got them to the championship. Excuse me. Now they would get beat by the Boston Celtics in the championship, but you got to give credit where credit due. The only person who has been able to mimic Hakeem's moves and actually do them to perfection was the great late Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant was able to do the dream shake. He was able to do certain moves in the post that we really didn't see from, a lot of big guys today or the guards. That's why Kobe he thanked Hakeem Olajuwon. He gave him a big hug the night Hakeem came and saw him in Houston on his farewell tour. And he said Hakeem really showed him how to play, and Hakeem showed him how to be a big man in the post, which was very intricate for the Lakers to win. If he didn't learn how to do that, the Lakers would have never went to another level. He was able to get the ball at the high post, sometimes at the low post, and have the ball, watch guys move around, and he either would hit guys on an assist, or he would do a turnaround fadeaway, or he would do a hook shot. So much respect to Hakeem Olajuwon, as he was the first center to actually play like a guard. Like, he was very quick. Like Wilt Chamberlain said best, that I would be effective against Hakeem. I'm faster than him, but he's quicker. So him and Hakeem would have been great to watch. I feel Wilt probably would have ultimately won that battle, because Wilt Chamberlain was just a freak of nature. We've never seen a Wilt, and we'll probably never ever see a Wilt ever. So Hakeem Olajuwon, man, one of the top 50 greatest players ever. The guy was amazing. To me, he's in my top five. But I do tiers. I don't do that anymore. So he's a tier one player to me. Hakeem revolutionized the center position. He dominated David Robinson. He dominated Shaq. Rodman tried to guard him. Hakeem would do that. And on defense, this is what people fail to realize. Defensively, Hakeem Olajuwon probably was one of the greatest, if not greatest, rim protector we've ever seen in history. And the guy could pass from the post. And he was a great free throw shooter. That's why I agree with Robert Ory when he says that I would take Hakeem Olajuwon over Tim Duncan. I agree. Because he can he can hit the free throws, he can hit the shots, mid range. He could take you off the dribble, and he was a lot quicker than Tim Duncan. And he was a little more athletic. And then when he got switched on the guards, he could guard the guard position. He gave guards problems. But let me know in the comment section what you felt about Hakeem Olajuwon. And I love that story that he talked about. Hakeem wanted to do other things. He never wanted to limit himself. And Hakeem always told Kobe is that you're a guard, so you would want to learn your footwork from a guard. So Hakeem showed him some things for his size. And to me, I still live by what I said. Hakeem Olajuwon was more skilled than Michael Jordan. People could get mad and everything, but he was. Michael was to me, I felt Hakeem was a better player, and he was more skilled than Michael Jordan. That's just my opinion. So let me know in the comment section what you thought about Hakeem Olajuwon. Where do you have him ranked as the top centers? To me, I have him ranked as number. To me, he's my favorite center of everybody. But if I had to do a consensus, I would put Wilt and Kareem over him. I have Hakeem probably the third greatest center of all time. I think he was. I think he was better than McAdoo, and I think he was better than Mikan. Even though those guys I have great respect for, I just don't think he was better than well, excuse me, I have Bill Russell over him, so I would say he's fourth. I have Will I have have Wilt 1, Bill 2. I think I have Wilt 1, Kareem 2, Bill Russell 3, Hakeem 4. I think that's how I got it. Bill Russell, his intangibles, you could argue he could be the best center of all time, which he could be. Wilt was probably the greatest player of all time. Bill Russell was the greatest winner. So I would go with either of them four centers would be great. But I would put those three over Hakeem because Bill Russell, to me, the things he did in his era, he dominated. Him and Wilt dominated their positions respectfully. So thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if you love what you hear, you can go to the description box. You can hit the link. It'll take you to the Cash App, and you could donate $1. You could donate $1 million. Whatever you want to give is very acceptable or fortunate for. If you want to super chat, you can. You can super chat, guys. You can hit that button. And make sure you share it. Thank you guys for your support and thank you for continuously supporting the page. So thank you guys, man, and we are out. Deezy.